In the previous video, we explained the details of the app which we are building. In this video, we'll be covering domain, infrastructure, and presentation layers. Erkan, can you explain the general architecture?
Yeah, sure. The diagram shows the key architectural layers of the architecture. I took the diagram from the domain-driven design tutorial of ResoCoder. It's a great architecture, however, the vanilla version is a bit too complicated to maintain. So I made some modifications on this architecture. The architecture consists of 4 layers. These layers are presentation, application, domain, and infrastructure layers. Let's examine each of these layers one by one. The domain layer is the center of the app. It is totally self-contained. It doesn't depend on any other layers. It contains model classes and abstraction to the services of the infrastructure layer. I know that it's a bit abstract, so let's jump into the code and show you how these architectures look like. Here we have 4 main folders: application, domain, infrastructure, and presentation folders. Each folder contain subfolders with feature names. The domain layer contains 2 folders for location and permission features. And the location folder contains location model and location service that will be used to communicate with the location service implementation. Now we are going to talk about the infrastructure layer. The infrastructure layer depends on the domain layer and it implements the abstractions that we define in the domain layer. This is the layer where we communicate with the remote data sources, local data sources. So basically, this is the place where we interact with the remote world. Also, we handle serialization and deserialization of the objects in this layer. When we encounter an exception, this is the place where we have our try catch phrases and take the necessary actions to the exceptions. Now, Aytunç will talk about the presentation layer.
Thank you, Erkan. Presentation layer is the layer where all of the UI code lives. Navigation and routing is handled in this layer as well. This layer should not handle any business logic. The presentation layer only communicates with the application layer, not the other 2 layers. Upon user interaction, presentation layer calls functions of the application layer, and in return, presentation layer reflects the state changes of the application layer. In this series, you will see us applying best practices while connecting the presentation layer with the application layer. Some of these best practices are minimum UI rebuilds as possible. This helps decreasing the battery consumption and enables higher frames per second. Secondly, avoiding full page rebuilds and allowing local rebuilds. What I mean by this is, if we have a complex page with many widgets, and if only one text widget should change, then ideally only that text widget should rebuild, not the whole page. We have covered 3 of the 4 architectural layers of the app. In the next video, Erkan will be explaining the last architectural layer, which is the application layer. He will also talk about state management choices we made in detail. So see you soon.
Bye.